Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another show. As you can see it right there on the screen, $2,400 stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. Yes, just a few days, and they're saying that these checks are coming. Guys, we've got a ton of news, information that literally just come out today. You are not going to want to miss this information. We've got a ton of news right here in this video just for you. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Your love and support in the world. In America, seniors face the difficulty to fulfill their essential needs. Because here's the reason why so many seniors in this country, we're not talking about other countries, we're talking about America, are dealing with such difficulties in fulfilling their essential needs is because of the high rising costs of inflation rates, okay? It's high rising costs and inflation rates. It leads to the financial crisis that several seniors have been saying that it's been terrible. James, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Yeah, we're coming in a little earlier than normal. We were going to try to do it super early, but there again, we are here with live information just for you. So with the difficulties for seniors to help fulfill their essential needs, the high rising costs, inflation rates, it's become a huge financial crisis. Well, guess what? The U.S. federal government has started the stimulus checks program and will release the $2,400 stimulus checks in May. Wow, that is some very, very big news. Devin, hey, what's going on? Hey guys, can you hear us all right? Is it coming through all right? How does it sound? Let us know down in the comments below. So here we go. So the U.S. government has started sending out these checks and will release them in May. Yes, that's some pretty big news, guys, right there. And we want to make sure to update you on exactly what is going on. Direct deposit. That's how these checks are going to be hitting. Yes, Sonia, Luis, Zobi, Mo, Jessica, Devin, hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a ton of news right here in this video just for you. For those of you just tuning in, we're talking about the $2,400 stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. This information literally just come out today. In America, seniors are dealing with some huge financial difficulties to help fulfill their essential needs. High rising costs, high inflation rates has led to a financial crisis. Now, the U.S. government has started the stimulus check program and will release the stimulus checks in May. Seniors, people of low income category or below the poverty line are able to get benefits under the stimulus check. That is some pretty high news, guys. Right there, you see it on the screen. This information literally just come out. We're talking about seniors are facing difficulties fulfilling their essential needs. Not paying for all these bills, not just trying to live a super fabulous life, no, but just trying to cover their daily expenses. So the U.S. government has started the stimulus check program and will release the $2,400 stimulus check in May, and seniors of a low income category or below the poverty line are able to get benefits under this stimulus check. Here we go. The IRS will release the stimulus check to eligible seniors and help them meet their monthly expenses. That's some pretty big news, guys. How are they going to do that? How are they going to provide this? How are they going to help them meet their monthly expenses? Well, right here, it is by providing this $2,400 stimulus check. You see it right there on the screen. It helps the lower income retired seniors and disabled individuals, which you can't leave those that are disabled out, but definitely those that are disabled, this is going to help individuals in this country. Definitely. So right here, you see it. For those of you guys that are just tuning in, trying to figure out what's going on, here we have May 28, 2024. These stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. Then we're talking about the IRS that will release these checks to eligible seniors and help them meet their monthly expenses by providing stimulus checks to low-income retired seniors. If that's you, definitely let us know in the comments below. But guys, guess what? We are having a ton of people who have helped support True Life Investing with giving a super chat. Definitely check that out. Any support would be great. Help us bring you this news. So the IRS, here we go, guys. Right here is what you're seeing on the screen. We're showing you right here live. The IRS is going to release the $2,400 stimulus checks for seniors. It is a great initiative taken by the U.S. government to seniors, to the retirees, and senior people of this country. Again, that's a big move. That's a big monumental step for seniors, especially retirees, disabled, and just seniors of the country. The eligible seniors who need financial assistance during their old age are able to get these payments. And yes, this is going to help several seniors in our country. The seniors who apply for the $2,400 on the checks must meet the age requirement and below the poverty line to become eligible for it. They will receive checks. This is what they're saying right here on the screen. They will receive their checks in May of 2024. And by providing stimulus checks to seniors, it helps them meet their essential needs and live a stress-free life. Right here, you see it, guys. And we're going to dial in right here on this. So this authority by the IRS, amount $2,400, looking at sending out those checks in May of 2024. Now, here we go. All of this information about stimulus checks that the IRS has worked with, definitely getting them out. For those of you guys that are just tuning in, we're talking about the $2,400 stimulus checks. Information just come out today that are coming in May of 2024. If that's you, let us know down in the comments below. So in America, seniors face the difficulty to fulfill their essential needs because of high rising costs and inflation rates, and it leads to a financial crisis. The U.S. government has started the stimulus check program and will release these checks in May 2024. Senior people of low income category or below the poverty line are able to get benefits under these stimulus checks. The IRS will release these checks to seniors and help them meet their monthly expenses by providing $2,400 stimulus checks. It helps the low income, the retired citizens, and disabled individuals. We have several people on this channel that are disabled. They're not able to work. They're not able to get any sort of extra income. So they're really relying on the government to come in and provide them with sort of some additional financial needs just because it's very difficult at this moment in time. So right there, guys, you see it on the screen, $2,400, guys, stimulus checks, $2,400 monthly stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. And how is all this happening? Well, the U.S. government has stepped in and has taken a great initiative to take by the U.S. government, the seniors, retirees, and senior people of the country to provide them with financial relief. The eligible seniors definitely need financial assistance during their old age. And if you're there, you're able to get some payments sent directly to you by direct deposit. That's what they're saying. That's what it's stating. Literally, guys, this information just come out today. And with all of these things happening, you know that so many people in our country, seniors especially, are dealing with just the difficulty of trying to balance a government check right, with the cost of goods, and it doesn't seem to balance out right. Seniors have been awaiting the stimulus check. That's why the U.S. government has started sending out the stimulus check program and will release these checks in May of 2024. That's a pretty big news. The IRS released the stimulus checks to eligible seniors and helped them meet their expenses by providing stimulus checks. It's helping those that are disabled, low income, and poverty seniors. They're stating that, number one, while so many seniors are in poverty, so many seniors are getting evicted, so many seniors are losing their home, here's what they're saying. This is some big news, guys. The IRS fourth stimulus check, they will receive their checks in May of 2024. You're looking by providing stimulus checks to seniors, it helps them meet their essential needs, daily expenses, and helps them live a stress-free life. That is right there. You see it on the screen, guys. It's definitely for seniors to help them with their daily expenses. Going back, for those of you that are just tuning in, asking about it, this is what they're saying. So for many people, guys, this is what they're saying. They're saying these stimulus checks are coming in May of 2024. Now, remember, all of the American seniors that face difficulty, well, that's a ton of American seniors that face difficulty, having to try and meet their daily needs. They are discussing the high rising costs of inflation, and because of this financial crisis, this is where the U.S. government partners with the IRS to provide direct deposit stimulus checks to seniors of poverty and those that are disabled. This is a big monumental thing, guys, because so many people have been awaiting a fourth stimulus check to hit their bank account via direct deposit. That's exactly what is going on. And guys, how is it that we definitely understand so many people are in need of a stimulus check? But I wanted to show you something, because while so many people say we need a stimulus check, there are a ton of people that say no, it will only hurt the economy. People are saying that we do not need stimulus checks. Do you agree? Well, how many of you guys know and have heard people say, well, we don't really need stimulus checks? But you got to understand, there are so many things happening because of high inflation rates, because of this predicament that is putting seniors in, that even our favorite restaurants are being affected because of the high minimum wage, that these restaurants can no longer be profitable because of such high rates, guys. This is pretty alarming news. Let's take a look.
CKE Restaurant CEO Andy Posner is with us this morning. How convenient. A timely appearance, I would say. Andy, we've got a franchise owner in California, operates 18 McDonald's. He says he's had to, because of Newsom's $20 an hour minimum wage, he's had to raise prices 7% overnight, and he's got more price hikes still to come. Can those restaurants survive and prosper?
No, they can't. There will be a lot of restaurants, underperforming, Midland performing restaurants are going to go away. Very good performing restaurants will become Midland or low performing restaurants. As more restaurants close, there'll be customers, there'll be more customers for fewer restaurants. But people just can't afford these prices. And there's only so much you can do to reduce prices. I was talking to a fast food chain CEO about a week ago, and he was saying they're going to take all of their ordering at the drive-thru, and they're going to have professional order takers in India or in the Philippines who will take it won't be anybody in the restaurant that takes the order, it'll be somebody with a lower minimum wage in India or the Philippines who'll take your order. And they're doing anything they can to reduce costs so they don't have to raise prices, but there's so much pressure, particularly in California.
That's really crazy stuff, it really is. And a separate subject, but you've got a piece on foxnews.com.
So what do you think about that, guys? That they would literally have to close some restaurants down because number one, the minimum wage has gone up. So many people have been desperately awaiting for inflation to go down. Minimum wage is going up to $20 an hour. I don't know about you guys. And listen, I understand I'm not owed by no means, okay? Well, I can't say I'm owed because several people are like, well, you're not owed, you're young. I'm going to say this. My age of 33, when I was 16 years old, I got a job. The day I turned 16 is the day I went out, applied for a job, and I landed the job. I wore a suit to my first job interview, and that was just how it was in my time, and that's what was respectable because you showed that you were very you wanted the job. You were there to work. And I remember that when they said, hey, we want to hire you, your minimum wage is $5 and $5.85. It was what my minimum wage was. $5.85. Now, I know several of you can say, wow, that's a lot compared to when I started working. But, I can only speak from my own experience because if they would have told me $20 when I first started, I would have been through the roof. But at the same time, everything was so much cheaper well, it was cheaper to an extent. But $20 an hour, guys, let me know down in the comments below. But right here, this is why people need stimulus checks. This is why so many seniors, they're looking for a direct deposit from the federal government. So just like this, if you look at the post, okay, we just did a post. People are saying that we do not need stimulus checks. Do you agree? 19% of you guys said, yes, we don't need a stimulus check. But 78% of you are saying, send the stimulus checks. Let it hit my bank account. Let me get that money. If you don't want it, I'll take it because it's going to help me get further ahead. So right here, it states in this news that number one hit, seniors are the ones facing the most difficulty fulfilling their essential needs. Why? Well, number one, it's the same reason why several of these franchise restaurants are going to close. High inflation. Can't keep up with the high rising costs. And because of this financial crisis that it's put seniors in, this is where the U.S. government, right here on the screen, U.S. government has started the stimulus check program and will release these stimulus checks in May. Senior people of low income category or below the poverty line are able to get benefits under these stimulus checks. This is what's really going to help those senior citizens out, especially disabled that are not even able to work, even part-time. The IRS will release these stimulus checks to eligible seniors and help them meet their expenses by providing these stimulus checks. It helps the low-income, retired seniors, and most importantly, disabled individuals in this country. Big news, guys. It's definitely helping them out. It's helping them with their expenses, daily expenses, to help cover those needs. And here's where we really want to dial into what this information is saying. So here's what it says. Stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. The IRS will release these $2,400 stimulus checks for seniors. It's a great initiative that the United States government is taking to help seniors, retirees, and basically anyone of the elderly in this country. Yes, they need financial assistance during their old age, and they're able to get this check in their direct account. Yes, definitely. So that is what that news is talking about. Definitely, guys. So if you are one of the 116 people that said we need a stimulus checks, here is the information right here on the screen. For most of you that are asking, John, when did this information come out? It's right here on the screen, guys. This information literally just come out today. May 28th, 2024. What they're saying is they're trying to get things moving. They're trying to get this thing done. They're trying to get these checks out. They want to help out seniors. They want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity to get some money. This is where this $2,400 could very well go a long way depending on how you spend it. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I really need to cover some big bills. My car needs to get fixed. I need new tires. I need to catch up on rent, mortgage, property taxes. You guys see it. You know it. You understand that, yes, if we're ever going to move forward in the right direction, this is where the U.S. federal government needs to step up to help those who are most in need, which is our senior citizens. So for you guys that are just tuning in, what we're talking about is fresh, hot off the press news with May 28, 2024. They're talking about stimulus checks coming in May. Yes, May 2024. And the whole reason why all of this is happening is because of the high rising costs and inflation rates. It's really put seniors in a financial need. So because of this, the U.S. government has started the stimulus checks program and will release these checks in May. Senior people of the low income category or below the poverty line are able to get benefits under this stimulus check, which is some pretty heavy news for many of those that are been waiting for some sort of change. Now, again, if you dive in further to what they're saying, what they're actually saying is the IRS will release these checks to eligible seniors and help them meet their monthly expenses. Some of you guys have been back up on rent, not been able to pay your utilities, not being able to stock up your fridge, not being able to put anything in your pantry. And while that hasn't just been enough to deal with, some of you haven't been able to put gas in your car, pay for your insurance, pay for your phone, or pay for anything that really helps you get by every single day. And with that, we're wondering, well, why are they getting evicted? Why has there been a 15% increase in the amount of seniors that are getting evicted? And this is where we know that the reason is because while you don't get any more on your check every month, prices still go up. So check this out, guys. Right here, I'm going to show you this because this is some pretty big news, guys. So right here on the screen, I'm going to show you this. So people have been saying, do seniors really need stimulus checks? Do seniors really need a direct deposit to their bank account? Do they really need a way to make more money, get more money, where the U.S. federal government needs to step in and really help them catch up? Well, right here, nationwide, 9,000 elders are evicted from nursing homes annually. Yes, this is only a statistic that covers nursing homes, but thousands more get evicted from assisted living facilities and adult homes. And while we may be asking, why does this happen? How is this happening? It's simply because they do not have enough money to keep up with the rising costs, which affects millions and millions of seniors. So for those of you guys that are just tuning in, we're talking about $2,400 stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. This is where several of the seniors definitely are the ones who are going to be getting it. And this is for financial assistance during old age. And these are the ones who are going to be able to get it. So you're looking at low income below the poverty line. You're also looking at disabled individuals in this country. And that's exactly who we're talking about. Is while some of you, we have 171 votes, guys, 171 votes, 73, 74, that said, no, we don't agree, because they say it's going to hurt our economy. It's going to really hurt the United States. And several of you are saying we need a stimulus check, while several of you others are saying, no, we don't need a stimulus check. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below, because several people have been waiting for a stimulus check to hit their bank account direct deposit. Now, according to this article, what they're saying is this is where the U.S. government is going to release these checks in May. Right there on the screen, they're going to release these stimulus checks in May of 2024. And again, it's going to retired seniors, poverty line, and those that are disabled. You see it right there, guys, on the screen, May 24. These are where the stimulus checks are coming. And again, the eligible seniors who need financial assistance during their old age are able to get these stimulus checks. So what about the form of where so many people have been looking for, where the U.S. federal government has stated, in this particular situation, in this criteria that you're in, we definitely understand. So we're going to release stimulus checks right here on the screen, guys, to eligible seniors and help them meet their monthly expenses. And while $2,400 may not sound like a life-changing amount, so many of you guys would say, hey, give it, we'll take it every single day. Every single day, we'll take that. $2,400, you can do a lot with $2,400, guys. Definitely catch up further. And for several of you guys that are just tuning in, asking, when did this information come out? It shows you right here on the screen, guys. May 28, 2024. This news literally just come out, and we are keeping you updated on all this big news. And while some of you guys are taking the opportunity to vote, several of you guys are asking, hey, what is going on? Hey guys, check this out. We have several people who have supported this channel by super chats. If you want to help out, help us keep the lights on, help us bring you this news, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and help with a super chat. So we've came across some very interesting news, guys, and you might know this person. Let's take a watch.
Let's go. Straight up. Are you on You're not going to intimidate. That's what Trump does, to try to intimidate. We have to fight back. You're washed up. You're washed up. We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. The Democrats. You are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up.
Wow.
You're filthy. And nobody can be soft and try.
Wow. Guys, people have turned and said he's a traitor. And then Robert De Niro turns back and says, you're gangsters, man. This was alarming news. This ain't even just the end, guys. You're talking about, this is why our country, our economy, this is where a lot of people have lost faith in Joe Biden because inflation has been that terrible. And so when it comes to stimulus check news, this is why 227 out of 227, 74% of you guys say we need stimulus checks. Again, if you're just tuning in, guys, what we're talking about $2,400 stimulus checks coming in May of 2024. This is fresh, hot off the press news. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss this. We're talking about senior people, low income, poverty line, and they're getting benefits under the stimulus check program because the U.S. government has started releasing these checks, and they're going to be released in May of 2024, which is only a few more days left in this month. And again, it's a great initiative for the U.S. government to help seniors, help retirees, help the people of the country, and it's going to help them meet their monthly expenses. So that is some good news. And I wanted to show you this, guys, because This is a lot of craziness that is happening.
Trial, do you trust
Just
the-
today. Just today.
This is amazing. I think Todd Blanche summed it up best. If there was an MVP, if there was a GOAT of liars, it is Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen is the embodiment of reasonable doubt. And this entire case hinges on someone who has quite literally lied to every single person and body he's ever been in front of. He's lied before, I believe it's every branch of Congress. He's lied before his wife. He's lied to bankers. He's lied to all of you in the press. And he's actually lied to that very jury. And yet, he's the only person of relevance that this entire case hinges on. We understand that this is a political persecution. That was evidenced today by the Biden campaign themselves holding a rally here. They bring in Robert De Niro, who was shot down, but apparently he needs attention because it's been a while since he's cranked out a good movie.
Oh,
think about
wow.
They bring out one actor. Remember in 2020 when every A-list actor in the world showed up for Joe Biden? They lined up one by one. Now they get one person. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson disavowed, said, hey, listen, I regret voting for him. Cardi B, all the people that lined up behind Joe Biden understand that he has failed our country. He has failed the citizens of this nation. Frankly, he has failed the world. But the fact that they are holding a rally across the sea from this very witch hunt, right across the street, tells us exactly what we all knew all along, that it is a political persecution. It is a witch hunt. There is a reason one of the people sitting at that desk was the number 3 person in Joe Biden's DOJ. I know my father is not allowed to say Matthew Colangelo in his name, right? Because he's been gagged. The President of the United States is not allowed to exercise his First Amendment rights in New York City in this day and age. Does that not tell us all everything we need to know about what we're witnessing? It's a witch hunt they're using as a political fundraiser, just like this very judge's daughter has profited from this very case. It is an insanity. It is an embarrassment. It's an abomination to democracy and to our republic. And yet it continues. Everyone in this case is conflicted, and it hinges on one man who's not just a liar, convicted, someone who's lost his law license, has been disbarred, someone who served jail time for lying before congressional bodies, and that's it. That's where we are today in America. This is a sham, it's insane, and it needs to stop, because if you think for 1 second that this ends with Donald Trump, you have not been watching what's going on in the Democrat Party in the last few years. They want power at any and all costs. Your rights be damned. That can't stand, that can't happen. This sham prosecution, this insanity, this abomination has to stop now.
After watching this trial, are you convinced that the jury's going to be able to make the right decision?
So I sit here today as a son. Forget about politics for a second. I've been in that courthouse with my father almost every single day. And not a single New Yorker, as they look at murders in the streets, women getting thrown in front of trains, kids getting shot in Times Square, the degradation of the city, not a single New Yorker believes that over $130,000 payment from 9 years ago, from 8 years ago, that the entire DA's office is lining that courtroom. They're sitting there, they're laughing, they're giggling. This was their moment. This is how they embarrassed Donald Trump. This is legal lawfare. All while this state absolutely melts. Everybody that sits here right now, every single one of you, knows that this is not the same state that we knew 10 years ago. Now, knew it was not the same state as we saw 5 years ago. You have total degradation of New York State because the only thing that Alvin Bragg wants to do, only thing that Letitia James wants to do is criminally prosecute Donald Trump. And they're doing it for one reason. They're doing it because they have a political vendetta. They're all funded by George Soros. That's what this is. This is political lawfare, and it absolutely has to stop. And I watch a man, he's the toughest man I've ever seen, and he endures this nonsense every single day. He sits in that seat, and that's not comfortable. He's never done a damn thing wrong. They tried to impeach him in D.C. They tried to impeach him a second time. They went after his Supreme Court justices. They turned the DOJ, they turned the FBI against him. They couldn't stop him. When that didn't work, guess what they did? They went after his family. They went after me. 110 subpoenas later that I've received. I've never gotten so much as a parking ticket. 110 subpoenas. They went after Don. They went after Laura. They went after little Baron Trump. as a young kid, as a young teenager, they went after Tiffany Trump. They tried to make his life hell. And then they weaponized every single DA. They weaponized every AG in every far left area because Biden is incompetent and he's losing in all the polls. Across the board, he's losing in every quantifiable metric. Our country is going to hell. And this is their answer. Go after him for $130,000. And I want to say sorry to the jury that's in there. This has been the greatest colossal waste of time. I want to say thank you to the NYPD. You have thousands of officers down here. Thousands of officers down here that could be protecting our streets. Instead, they're guarding this courthouse against a sham trial. This has cost New York millions and millions and millions of dollars. And New York deserves so much better than this. And I cannot wait for the day that we win. We will. We're right. The entire country knows that this is nonsense. They don't buy it. A poll just came out from the New York Times. Even Democrats, the vast majority of Democrats, know that this case is a sham. And I think we're going to prevail. And I'm just proud of the toughest person I've ever met in my entire life for having the backbone and fortitude to go through this whole mess, as uncomfortable as it's been. And I'm proud to have stood there every single second by his side in that freezing cold courtroom against unthinkable odds and a corrupt judge and people making a lot of money and this political witch hunt. He's an inspiration to me every single day, and he'll be vindicated. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't know what else to say that hasn't been said, but I think it's pretty obvious after all of the evidence has been presented now. We can very clearly see, if you didn't already know, that this was never a case about seeking justice. This was never a case about prosecuting an actual crime. This was never a case about protecting the citizens of the city of New York. This is a case about politics, pure and simple. And it is such a shame, as someone who used to live in this city, to see the top law enforcement officer in the city of New York, Alvin Bragg, sitting up in that courtroom, knowing all the resources he pulled together, all the time, all the taxpayer money in this city that was spent to go into this case when, as Eric just noted, you have crime sky high, people being pushed in front of subways, women getting punched in the face in broad daylight in this city, anti-Semitism spewing out of our universities right here in New York City. They're not caring about any of those crimes. They're not pursuing any of those crimes. They care about this, which we know is not a crime. They have not proven anything to be a crime whatsoever, and they will not. Because at the end of this, we all know what it is about. And to the jury, when they realize these people who have wasted 5 weeks of their time in there, that they have been part of a political game, as New Yorkers, I'm pretty sure they're going to be upset about it. This is not the United States of America if this is successful. This is Banana Republic type stuff. And if they can profit off it on the other side, so can we. DonaldJTrump.com. If you want to contribute to help Donald Trump become the 47th president of the United States, they cannot succeed. They will not succeed. We will continue to fight alongside my father-in-law, our 45th and I believe 47th president, for what we know is true and right. Thank you.
Wow. And that, guys, is what it happened today. But what else is going on in our country? Well, why don't we dive in to things that people are saying? Because, again, while so many people in New York are dealing with this crazy nonsense, what about on the border side?
Former Vice President Mike Pence had just visited the border and he met with law enforcement in El Paso, Texas. In that group was Terrell County Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, who joins me now. Sheriff, what did Pence have to say at the border?
Hi, Stuart, and thank you for having me back. Look, Vice President Pence was there to make sure that America's still keeping the gas on the pedal with border security. There's been a lot of recent events come upon the news, not only here in the United States, but externally. And, border security coverage has kind of taken that back seat. And I wanted to make sure I was able to tell him what we are currently seeing here in Terrell County, Texas.
Has migrant entry slowed? I believe it has come down a little. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It has come down a little. And look, we're starting to get to those summer months where the summertime really starts to dictate some of that flow just because of the extreme heat. But look, we can't get lost in those numbers. You can make those numbers seem good or bad. We're still at over 1.4 million apprehensions. Look, that low water mark before was 1.6. What we've seen the past 2 years is well above 1.4, and we're still catching over 4,000 illegal aliens a day. That's extremely a high number. It may not be what we've seen as high in the last 2 years, but it's higher than normal and historical levels.
Are they still coming through your county in the same numbers, or have they shifted maybe
Yes,
to
they
more
certainly are.
New Mexico, California, maybe shift over to there a little bit?
Well, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. No, so to your point there, what we're seeing out in San Diego, California, out in Arizona, in parts of New Mexico, certainly taking over what Texas had been seeing. You know, we've been bearing the brunt here in the state of Texas, but through Operation Lone Star and what Governor Abbott has done, has shifted that traffic because they know it's going to be tougher to cross here. They know the governor's put more resources, so they're going to weaker parts of the border.
What's the sentiment in Texas? Are they really gung-ho for Trump to build a wall? Or are there some who say, okay, look, we've got this situation, Biden created it, let it go? What's the sentiment?
No, Texans, to put it plainly, are pissed off. You know, what we've seen over the last 3.5 years created by this administration has really impacted all of Texas. And I can speak that directly because of my local community and the impact it's had here. You know, I've told you before, we're 10th largest county. We have a population of 800, and we're finally up to 5 deputies because the governor's given us money to hire 2 additional. But it has a tremendous impact on all of our communities. And I'll tell you what, the border fence is a tool, but it's not an end all. It's going to take more manpower, more resources, more technology, but also those partnerships at the federal, state, and local levels.
Sheriff Thaddeus.
Wow, and that's what we're here. That's what we're seeing, guys. So many people have been awaiting for things to change, to get better. Number one, it's dealing with these immigrants. It's just insane how many people are coming over, guys. I want to show you this real fast because we heard Donald Trump Jr. We heard some of their guys, but what about the star, Robert De Niro? If you've seen his movies, he's a pretty well-known actor. He's a good actor, but I never thought he would support Biden, considering how much our country has been ruined.
This is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets.
Why is he reading off something?
The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Okay, just from that statement, what has Joe Biden done but destroy our country, destroy the city? It's being overrun with immigrants. Our whole country is being overrun. Border crisis, terrorists, everybody's coming over. More drugs than ever. Highest inflation rates. High cost of living prices. Is he talking about Joe Biden? Or is he talking about what Donald Trump is doing? Then let's look at the world. Well, you've got all these wars going on all over our country. Ukraine, you've got Israel, you've got Russia, you've got Taiwan, you've got China. But it's Donald Trump? Because when Donald Trump was president, none of this happened. In fact, we had the best border security. Oh, inflation was amazing. Interest rate, 2%. What about gas? Oh, $2. So where is he getting his notes at? Where is he getting his information at? Because what it sounds like is he's talking about Joe Biden. That should tell you right there that either this dude was paid to say what he's saying, because this is how you read, okay? Yeah, okay, some people, they have to have a list. Okay, whatever. I don't always buy that. This is an actor. This dude can memorize, he understands lines, but if he has to continually read off his list, I lived here. The Twin Towers were over here. They were over there. Dude, if you lived here, then why are you having to read off a list? Like, come on, dude.
But we vowed we would not allow terrorists.
You know what? He cannot. Terrorists. Come on, dude. Guys, you know, as much as I would love to continue that, I don't even think me mentally, personally could listen to what he can't even read off a script right. Who does that sound like? I'm just saying, guys. But with stimulus checks coming in May, this is what they're talking about. Definitely so much things have happened. Several people have been wondering, when is it going to happen, direct deposit? And this is the news that we have for you guys. We are every day researching, double checking news to make sure that we have you guys covered when it comes to all this news. We will keep you updated. We'll make sure that you know exactly what's going on. But we definitely want to thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging with us. If you haven't already, support our channel with the super chat. It would definitely help us out. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. God bless and hope you have a wonderful night. And we'll see you in the next one.